Okay, first of all, we're going to open your selected image as a smart object in Photoshop. Oops, I'm going to find it. No, it's a duck. There we go. So just choose your best image from the excursion. Okay, first of all, we're going to make it black and white. So you can go Image, Adjustments, Black and White. Okay, it's very, very, very flat at the moment. So we're going to add a little bit of depth into it soon. Before you make your adjustments, you can choose to crop using the crop tool. If you've got, like, I'm pretty happy with the composition of this photo here, but say you've got a lot of negative space up the top and you want to crop it, you just click on the crop tool or hit C on your keyboard, and then you can, choose the bit you want to work with and hit enter when you're done. But like I said, I'm happy with how this one is. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more depth into it. I'm going to go to Image and Adjustments again. Let's go to Brightness and Contrast. Maybe I'll increase the brightness and the contrast a little. And then you can go to Image, Adjustments and Levels. And this is your black level, mid level and white level. So you can play around with some of those until you've got quite a dynamic image. You can also go through and adjust the curves, the exposure, shadows and highlights. Just experiment with a few different things and see what effect it has on your image. I'm happy with that though. So what I need to do now is put it onto an A3 canvas so that it's ready for printing. So I'm just going to go File and New, go into Document Type, select International Paper and A3. I'm going to switch the width and the height around because mine is a landscape photograph. Okay, now I'll go back over to this photo and go Layer, Duplicate Layer, and in the Destination drop-down menu I'll select that untitled document. Here it is. Now I've just got to make it the size of the canvas. So to do that, you need to bring up your transform tool, hit Command T on your keyboard, make it the size of the canvas, and then when you're happy, hit enter to apply the transformation. And then you're done. So what I'm going to do now is go File, Save As. You can save it as a Photoshop PDF or a JPEG, it's up to you. Click Save and make sure you drag that all the way up to 12. Now I'm going to go into Illustrator. I've already created a new document. Make sure you choose A3 size for this document. Now I'm going to go File and Place. Pop that onto my canvas. Now from here you can just plan out how you want your embroidery to sit on the photograph. I need you to send me a copy of the JPEG or Photoshop PDF just as it is so I can print it out. But what you're doing in Illustrator is you're planning what embroidery you're going to do. So if you're going to do geometric shapes, for instance, you might use the shape tool. Oops. For instance, that's not a very good idea though for my photo. You could use the pencil tool, which is behind the shaper tool. Just double click on it and make sure you drag it all the way to smooth so you get an accurate line. Maybe I'm going to embroider around these curves. So you're just going to plan out what you're actually going to stitch. And you don't want it to be too over the top, just something that fits with your photograph or adds to the narrative of the photograph. So play around with the stroke size. You're going to end up with about 3 different versions of this photograph. So what I've done is I've just selected the photograph, held down Alt on the keyboard and dragged out a copy. I need you to think of 3 different possibilities for embroidery ideas. Keep your colours limited as well. So you want a maximum of about 4 colours, I'd say. Okay, so let's pretend those are my 3 ideas. Then you can just go File, Save As, and save it as a PDF. And then airdrop over to me.